Pereira wins. 3-2, dude. 1, 3, and 5 for Alex. Clear. 3-2, Alex. Let's fucking go. Pereira was never good. He's scared, little boy. Nope. He was just waiting for the takedowns the whole time. Now he knows he can stuff him. He wins a rematch regardless. Pereira kept circling to the fence. He brought it on himself. Very bad performance from both. True, yeah. Guru pulling out the coke cliches. Dude, I'm telling you, dude. Nothing happened in 3 or 5. Anyone can have them. Yep. I think Pereira landed the better shots. Clearly won the better shots. Ank's a fucking joke of a fighter, dude. Holding people up against the cage in a championship fight. Fuck you. 3-2 Pereira, baby. Let's go. Come on. I don't ask for much. Wow, Ank's soy and gay gonna go kiss his 12-year-old wife. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Peter Bjork, thank you for the membership. Alex not throwing the right hand for 5 rounds against a southpaw. He couldn't, dude. If he throws the right hand, his hips go square and he can't stuff the takedown. DC's so biased. I mean, he was calling it. It was a close fight. GSP, Prime, Colby, Chael humped guys to a decision and you know it. I know, and you all called him out for it. Everyone called GSP boring. People in the West just hate Russians and anything they do. These ain't Russians. Russians are Pavlovich, Volkov. Real savages that go out there looking for KOs. Don't mix these fucking wall clinchers against the real fucking savages, dude. Come on. I swear Alex threw like 5 punches. He didn't throw much off of his rear hand. It was all lead hand dominant stuff. Give him this shit! I swear to God if they give a championship belt away by holding up against the cage. They gave a belt away to holding someone up against the cage. Fuck it, dude.
I think it's clear 4-1. If they give it to Alex, it's a brutal robbery, man. It's a clear Ank win. You could literally score at 5-0. I'm being dead serious. You could score at 5-0. The commentary was atrocious, though. Dude, if they rob Ank again, if they rob him because he landed 1 head kick in round 5, Ank clearly won round 5. If they rob Ank, dude, they're doctoring the scorecards right now. Why are they taking so long? It was a clear win for Ank. 49, 46, 48, 47. New champ.
The highly anticipated fight between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev just took place, and the MMA community is buzzing with reactions. Fighters, coaches, and analysts had plenty to say before the 2 light heavyweight contenders stepped into the octagon, offering their predictions on how the clash would unfold. Before the fight, Movsar Evloev was vocal about his belief in Ankalaev's striking abilities. He was confident that Ankalaev could defeat Pereira even without resorting to his wrestling. In Evloev's eyes, Pereira's defense had too many openings, making him vulnerable against a composed and technically proficient striker. He pointed out that Pereira often relied on sheer knockout power, whereas Ankalaev had a more refined skill set stemming from his extensive amateur MMA experience. He said, even if Ankalaev do not use his wrestling, I think he have enough skills in striking to beat Pereira. Ankalaev is good enough to beat this guy, and Pereira usually does not defend himself very well. Just believe in his power and he'd just go through, but Ankalaev is different. He has high-level skill set, big experience in amateur MMA, and he's a monster in professional MMA. However, not everyone shared that sentiment. Gilbert Burns saw the fight differently. While he acknowledged Ankalaev's skills and toughness, he was firmly in Pereira's corner. Burns believed the Brazilian had the upper hand and would successfully defend his title. He respected Ankalaev's abilities, but advised Pereira not to take him lightly, knowing the Russian had the potential to surprise anyone in the division.
What's your early prediction, you know, when he fights Ankalaev? You think Ankalaev has a chance?
I think Portan does Portan, you know, he's gonna be out there, Shama, this and that, and he's gonna win. But yeah. Ankalaev is a tough dude, you know. Yeah. One thing that when I start to look at both fighters, Ankalaev had a problem with Blachowicz when Blachowicz was kicking him. So if that's the case, Portan kick is way harder.
Dominic Cruz also weighed in on the matchup, warning that Ankalaev's decision to engage in a striking battle with Pereira could backfire. He highlighted the raw power that Pereira possessed, reminding everyone that no fighter at 205 pounds had managed to withstand his shots for long. Cruz argued that Ankalaev's best strategy was to mix his wrestling with striking rather than engaging in a stand-up war with someone as dangerous as Pereira. If Ankalaev chose to trade strikes for too long, Cruz feared he would meet the same fate as many of Pereira's past opponents.
And he says he's going to strike, but I hope not, to be honest, because you want to see Pereira really challenged, and I think the best way that Ankalaev can challenge him is by mixing the striking and the wrestling together. There's a beauty to see alone in just that, mixing the two arts, rather than I'm just going to wrestle him or I'm just going to strike with him. Like, I want to see the beauty and the art of Ankalaev mixing the grappling and the striking together, and I think that's the key to beating somebody like Pereira. You have to do that.
Tim Welch had an interesting take on the fight, acknowledging Ankalaev's talent but still giving Pereira the edge. While he agreed that Ankalaev was skilled enough to shake things up, Welch maintained that Pereira's striking power was simply on another level. He predicted that if Pereira landed just one clean shot, it would be lights out for Ankalaev. Welch saw the Dagestani fighter's best chance at victory in his grappling, but even then, he was not convinced that Ankalaev could neutralize Pereira for an entire fight.
If Magomed comes out there and he tries to strike with Alex Pereira, which I feel like he might, then it's going to be, I think, a bad night for him. But if he comes out and wrestles him, zaps his arms, forces him, maybe gets takedowns, not to just hold him down and not to just ride him, but take him down, make him work up, take him down, make him work up, put him against the fence, pin his arms, take a little bit of explosiveness out of his arms, I think Magomed could win, but I'm pushing for Alex Pereira to win.
Meanwhile, Grant Dawson was skeptical about Ankalaev's recent performances, which led him to favor Pereira in this matchup. Dawson believed that Ankalaev's wrestling, while effective, wouldn't be enough to take down and control someone as physically imposing and skilled as the reigning champion. His assessment leaned towards Pereira, successfully defending his belt, as he felt the Russian had not been dominant enough in his previous outings to inspire confidence in this particular contest.
I'm going Alex, man. I definitely think Magomed could get it done, or whatever his name. I think he could get it done with his wrestling, but what I saw with him against Jan Blachowicz. I'm just not impressed with him, man. I actually thought Jan won the fight. I'm just not impressed with him. I think Alex could get it done. If you tell me that he takes Alex down and rides him out for 4 rounds, I could see it, but I'm picking Alex.
On the other hand, Andrei Petroski wasn't entirely dismissive of Ankalaev's chances. While he acknowledged that Pereira was the favorite, he didn't count Ankalaev out completely. He believed that the Russian's wrestling could still be a major factor, and if used effectively, it could tilt the fight in his favor. Petroski saw Ankalaev as an underrated threat and felt that Pereira would need to be careful not to underestimate his opponent.
I mean, Ankalaev can win this fight so easily, but I'm sure everyone's seen the interview where he talks about how he's going to knock him out. So that doesn't give me much hope. But if he just goes out and wrestles, I think he can beat Pereira relatively easily.
Matt Brown raised a different concern altogether, focusing on Pereira's level of commitment ahead of the fight. As the reigning champion, Pereira had become increasingly involved in media obligations, public appearances, and even acting roles. Brown speculated that these distractions could affect his training and preparation. He emphasized that Pereira had benefited from favorable matchups in the past, but Ankalaev posed a unique challenge, one that required complete focus. He stated absolutely possible he's distracted. He doesn't come across as the type to do that, but it's 1,000% possible because the way that you train to get there is, for the vast majority of guys, completely different when you're there. He won glory championships and everything. He didn't have a ton of popularity at that time. Now he's getting hit from all angles. His mind, there's no way it's in exactly the same spot, the same hunger, and Ankalaev has a lot to prove here. A lot of people are probably writing him off, and he feels like he's kind of been shorted this whole time, having to work so much to get the title shot, and felt like Alex was kind of ducking him. Yeah, he's fighting a guy that's hungry as. Robert Whitaker shared a straightforward prediction. He believed that Ankalaev's best and perhaps only chance to win was to wrestle Pereira immediately. Whitaker suggested that if Ankalaev, he might not survive the first round. In his view, Pereira's striking power was too overwhelming for most fighters to handle for an extended period.
I'm gonna go Pereira.
It's hard to write him off, right? Like he keeps proving himself.
I just don't. Like I said, if Ankalaev doesn't drop level within in the first 3 minutes, I don't think he makes it out of the first round. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be striking with that guy.
Yeah.
Period. He
he hits like a truck. He's very comfortable and confident at like standing. So yeah, you have to get him on his back in that first round.
Chael Sonnen took a different approach in discussing the matchup, choosing to focus on Pereira's size rather than his fighting abilities. Sonnen revealed that Pereira had entered fight week 22 pounds over the weight limit, the same amount he used to cut during his middleweight days. This led Sonnen to speculate on the possibility of Pereira eventually moving up to heavyweight. He imagined a scenario where the Brazilian bulked up to 240 pounds, making him a significant threat in yet another division. While Sonnen acknowledged the challenges of cutting that much weight, he also pointed out how it underscored Pereira's natural size advantage over many of his current opponents.
He videotaped the whole thing, let the world know he's 22 pounds over. Now, just to remind you, 22 pounds over on fight week is the exact same thing that Pereira used to be over when he was fighting down a weight class. So he's very used to this number of 22 pounds. But it does make you wonder just how big is this guy? I mean, he's already moved up 20 pounds to get to the weight class. He remains 22 pounds over. There's a conversation of him being a heavyweight that some people, myself included, are really hoping for. I can relate to that exact number. I remember being in Las Vegas for a fight in the summertime, 22 pounds overweight. 22 pounds the day before weigh-ins, overweight. And I remember quite literally the depression of seeing that scale, seeing that number, knowing how much time was on the clock, and knowing what I was going to have to put myself through to get there. So Alex is 225 right now. If that magic number can be achieved anywhere between 222 like Randy and 240 like Kane, Daniel, and Stipe,
do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.